Under the carving blade, a scene comes to life set in the liberated area of 1942, when anger rages at the rent-reducing rally. The picture is full of indignations, grievances, and tears. There are also hesitances and doubts, as some watch from the sidelines. The landlord-oppressor is casting about for a rationalization. But his weak, halting words reek of hypocrisy and trepidation. With the abacus and the measuring vessel, the people boldly called for a liquidation. But they are all based on real people. The feeling of the times is indelibly left in these carved lines. The rent-reducing rally created by Gu Yuan in 1943 is the representative work of the Yan'an Woodcuts School. It ushered in a new artistic style in China's woodcuts and engravings. Some 8 decades ago, this Western-style building east of Yan'an housed the Luxun Academy of Arts. Here, the 20-year-old Gu Yuan first encountered woodcuts. From then on, the young man chose to speak through his carving knife.
如果说40年代延安木刻是新兴版画发展史上第一座高峰，那么古元呢，就是这个峰巅上的一颗明珠。它是延安版画最优秀的代表，这一点大家是公认的。
With carving knives fashioned from bombshell fragments, Gu Yuan worked diligently at the wooden boards. In the 1930s, the writer Lu Xun introduced Western woodcuts into China, and an artistic movement soon emerged to embrace the realism of the medium. The popular and accessible vocabulary of woodcuts left a remarkable impression on people in the Yan'an revolutionary base. It was deployed as an effective instrument to awaken and mobilize the masses. To serve the revolutionary cause, woodcuts were produced quickly and in large amounts. The Yan'an School's prolific and creative output has never been matched. In 1938, Gu Yuan left his rural teacher's job in Guangdong and arrived in Yan'an. There, he was inspired by the refreshing sense of freedom. At the foot of Baota Mountain, a large-scale production campaign was underway to achieve economic self-sufficiency. Gu Yuan was deeply moved by the sight, which cemented his faith and conviction. While studying at the Luxun Academy of Arts, Gu Yuan also joined the farmers and sketched the scenes of their daily life. Through his keen observation of the farmers' expressions, postures, and actions, he captured the most essential features of local life. During his stay in Nianzhuang village, Gu Yuan often shared his latest works with the villagers.
他就跟那个当地的老先生一边聊天的时候，一边把这个画都摊在炕头上，让老百姓看，给老百姓解释这张作品是什么，那张作品是什么，这就是一个炕头展览。
Gu Yuan would give his woodcut prints to the villagers to be used in the literacy campaign. The image of a cow or a goat was accompanied by the Chinese character, representing the farm animal. The villagers posted the pictures on the wall and converted their homes into Gu Yuan's gallery. While serving the farmers, Gu Yuan also learned from their comments and feedback.
在30年代初的一些木刻里面，我们所说的欧化风，就是说它吸收了欧洲的那种素描因素、光影效果、大明大暗。结果在延安呢，有些人也这么搞的时候呢，这个延安的农民呢接受不了。他说这个画是阴阳脸，脸上都长一些毛毛，所以他们就不喜欢。
Drawing inspiration from rural life, Gu Yuan began to explore a new direction. The local paper cuts and traditional woodblock prints proved a new source of artistic vocabulary. As the expressionistic black and white contrast gave way to traditional regular linearity, a new Oriental style of modern woodcuts asserted itself. In Nianzhuang, the artist from southern China came to regard himself a member of the local community. While others preferred to read national news, Gu Yuan was more responsive to local stories. He closely followed the Liberation Daily's pages on the latest rural developments. One day, a brief story caught Gu Yuan's eye. In the Suide region, the farmers struggled against the landlords and demanded back the excessive rents. In the rent-reducing rally, Gu Yuan sensed an earth-shaking transformation that would make history.
他的创作以那种把对现实生活表现的真实性、对时代变迁揭示的那种深刻性和引进情节性因素的那种叙事性，它体现出了一种史诗的品格。
Gu Yuan decided to record this great historic moment with his carving knife. Pinching a strip of willow wood carbon, Gu Yuan blocked out the composition on a sheet of coarse paper. In his mind's eye, he saw how the villagers of Nianzhuang would react if a rent-reducing rally were to be held there. He saw how the landlord would appeal to the heavens, and how the courageous villagers would put their feet down and claim their rightful share, as the more timid were murmuring hesitantly.
每个人身份的派定，每个人在这个画面的组织关系中，他所处的位置、角度，还有他的这个姿态，这些细节他都关注到了，因此形成了一个这样一个人物群组的时候，我们就感到了一种很真切的感到一种现场感，一种临场感。
Leaving aside the level and triangular edges, Gu Yuan chose the rounded blade for the image. On the 20 by 13.5 centimeter space of the pear wood board, he had to be as precise as a surgeon in arranging the 11 figures. The lines were clean and elegant, following the style of traditional woodblock prints. The density and strength of the cuts echoes the unfolding changes of the times. The paper lifted from the carved surface presented an image of a dawning new epoch.
古元的文艺思想其实很明确的，就是艺术要为大众服务，为人民服务。就是说，人民既是艺术的出发点，也是落脚点。
Great art is a mirror of its times. A great artist would try to capture the spirit of the times. Some 8 decades ago, Gu Yuan felt the people's strength in the earth and recorded the immense transformation of rural China. Today, the rent reduction endeavor has been replaced by rural vitalization, but this artistic embodiment of rural China will be an enduring monument, marking the origin of all the changes to come.